everyone. So today we are going to discuss some of the important models of questions on vectors that will help you to understand whatever important concepts you have learned about vector operations in our previous lecture. So let us see, I have written down two questions. The first question is, find the angle made by one vector is given a vector 2i cap plus 3j cap minus 4k cap with y axis. Then how to find this angle? I have told you that whenever you have been asked to find out angle between two vectors, what should you do? You should always try to take the dot product of those two vectors. Correct? So we have to find it between a vector and y axis. Now y axis is representative of j cap. Y axis is representative of j cap. So what will be the angle? Let us say the angle between a vector and y axis is theta. So what can we write? Take the dot product a dot j cap. This will be mod of a mod of j into cos of theta, where theta is the angle between a vector and j vector. Now what is dot product of these two? I cap dot j cap will be 0, 3. So on the left, this can be written as 3 is equal to mod of a. What is mod of a? Here you can see mod of a is root of 2 square plus 3 square. So root of 4 plus 9, which is root of 13. What is mod of j? It is unit vector. So it will be 1. So this is equal to root of 13 cos theta. So what is theta? It is cos inverse of 3 by root of 13. So this is the angle between these a vector and y axis. Any doubt in this? No. Okay. Now let us say, if next question, if a vector is equal to 0.4 I cap plus 0.8 j cap plus 6 k cap represents a unit vector. Unit vector means magnitude is 1. So what is the magnitude of a vector here? As per question it is given as 1. So we can write root of 0.4 square plus 0.8 square plus c square, and that is equal to 1. So now you can square both the sides. So what will you get? So how much is this? Sorry, this is 8, no? So this will be 64. So you will get it as this much. So now what is c square? It is 1 minus 0.8. So we can write c square as 1 minus 0.8. How much is this? 0.2. So what is c? It will be root of 0.2. Let's see this question. So in question number 3, if the magnitudes of vectors a vector, b vector and c vector are 12, 5 and 13 units. So the first thing that we should come in your mind is that they are forming Pythagorean triplet. They are forming Pythagorean triplet, and a vector plus b vector is given as c vector. Correct? So can we draw it something like this? A vector, this is your b vector, and a vector plus b vector, sum of these two vectors, triangle of addition of vectors. You can write this as your c vector. And the magnitude of all these vectors have been given to us. This is given as 12, this is given as 5, and this is 13. Correct? They are asking the angle between a vector and b vector. So when you extend, this is the direction of a vector, this is the direction of b vector. So what is the angle between them? It is 90 degrees. It is 90 degrees. Are you able to understand this? If suppose they would have asked, let us say they would have asked angle between let us say B vector and C vector, then how will you find it out? You will take the direction of B vector, you will take the direction of C vector. So this is your B vector and this is your C vector. Now this is the angle between B vector and C vector, theta. So this can be written as theta here. So in that case you could have just given the answer as, let us say, tan theta is equal to 12 by 5. So theta is equal to tan inverse of 12 by 5. But what is the original answer? I mean the answer for the original question, it is 90 degrees. I will write 90 degrees so that you don't get confused. Remember, whenever they ask you to find out the angle between two vectors, try to find the angle between the direction of the vector. Try to find the angle between the directions of the vector. Now let's see the next problem. Mod of A dot B. So A dot B will always give you a scalar thing only. So it will be AB cos theta, where theta is the angle between A vector and B vector. So this will be equal to root 3 mod of A cross B. How much is that? AB sin theta, n cap mod will be equal to 1. So now you can erase it, AB and AB. What can we write? Tan theta. If you take cos theta on the other side, sin theta by cos theta is tan theta, and that is equal to 1 by root of 3. So what is theta? Theta is equal to 30 degrees. So the answer for this question is, let's see this question. The adjacent sides of a parallelogram that has been given. So we have been given, let us say this is our A vector, this is B vector, and obviously this will again, it will be A vector and this will be B vector. They have asked us to find the area of this parallelogram. So you know that when you take the cross product of these two adjacent sides, or you can say the vectors which are representing these adjacent sides of a parallelogram, if you take their cross product, you will get the area of the parallelogram. So what is the magnitude of the area of parallelogram? It is mod of A cross B. And how do you find A cross B? First thing is we should find out A cross B. So we can find it out using determinant rule. So I cap, J cap, K cap. Right? 2 minus 3, 1. Coefficients of I cap, J cap and K cap. Again, B minus 2, 4 and minus 1. Now we have to solve this determinant. So first I cap, how much? We'll eliminate the row and column which is containing I cap. So what do you get? 3 minus 4. Alternatively, we'll change the sign. So again eliminate rows and column which contains J cap. So you'll get minus 2 plus 2. So it will be 0. And then again plus K cap. 8 minus 6. So you get it as minus I cap plus 2 K cap. So this is the area vector. What will be the magnitude of this area vector? You can see it here. Magnitude will be equal to, you can just write it as root of minus 1 ka square plus 2 ka square. So it will be root of 5 units. The answer will be root of 5 units. Next question. Find A and B such that 2i cap plus 3j cap minus 4k cap and 3i minus aj plus bk are parallel. So if two vectors are parallel to each other, then the ratio of coefficient of I cap, j cap and k cap is equal. What it means is that I can write 2 by 3 is equal to 3 by minus a, and that should be equal to minus 4 by b. So now from here we can determine what is a. It will be equal to minus of 9 by 2. What will be b? B will be equal to you can take first and third one. So B will be equal to minus of 12 by 2. So that is minus of 6. Question, there are two vectors which are given perpendicular to each other. So remember, whenever you get the question related with two vectors being perpendicular to each other, perpendicular, another term you can find is orthogonal. So whenever you find such question, then remember what you have to do. You have to take the dot product or a scalar product. So now what we do is, if two vectors are perpendicular to each other, always remember, if A vector and B vector, they are perpendicular, it implies that the dot product of these two vectors will always be 0. Why it will be 0? Because this is equal to mod of A mod of B cos of 90 degrees. Cos of 90 is 0. Therefore, the dot product is going to become 0. Now we take the dot product of A vector and B vector. So what will you get? What is the dot product? x1 x2 plus y1 y2 plus z1 z2. So we can write that as x1 x2 here is a square minus 2a minus 3, and that is equal to 0. So we can write this as a square minus 3a plus a minus 3 is equal to 0. So a minus 3 plus 1, a minus 3 is equal to 0. So this whole thing you can write it as a minus 3 into a plus 1, and that is equal to 0. So now a will give you two values, 3 and minus 1. They are asking us the positive value of a. So what is the value of a? We will take it as the answer 3. So 3 will be the answer for that question. Now let's move on to the next problem. The two forces 2 root 2 Newton and x Newton are acting at a point. The resultant is perpendicular to x cap Newton and having magnitude of root 6 Newton. Find the angle between the two forces and magnitude of this vector. So now let us say this is your force x and another force magnitude is 2 root 2. So we can take that force here like this. And where is the resultant? Perpendicular to x cap and having magnitude of root 6. So we can take this as resultant. You can see this is perpendicular to x and it is having magnitude of root of 6. So now you see, why did we get resultant here in perpendicular direction? It is because what would have happened is one component of 2 root 2 would have resulted in this resultant, another component would have cancelled x. One component of 2 root 2 would have produced this resultant, another component would have cancelled the value of x. So what is the component? So what we do is, let us say we take this angle as theta, correct? So what will be this component of 2 root 2? It will become 2 root 2 cos theta. I had told you earlier that if you find any vector making an angle with one of the axis, then on that axis component is cos theta, on the other axis the component, perpendicular axis, the component will become sin theta. So this is 2 root 2 sin theta. So if the resultant is root 6 and it is in vertical direction, that means the net horizontal force is 0, correct? So we can write x mod of this as equal to some 2 root 2 sin theta, and what is 2 root 2 cos theta? It is equal to root of 6. So we can write root of 6 as equal to 2 root 2 cos of theta. So what is cos of theta? It is root 3 by 2. So from here you can write cos theta as root 3 by 2. And what is the value of theta then? Theta is equal to 30 degrees. So if theta is 30 degrees, what will be this value? 2 root 2 into sine of 30. Sine of 30 is half. Put it here half. 2 and 2 gets cancelled. So that means this is equal to root of 2. And theta value we have got it as 30 degrees. So what is the angle between both the forces? It is 30 plus 90. 30 plus 90 is 120 degrees. So the answer for this question will become the angle is 120 degree between both the forces, and the magnitude of that x vector is root of 2 Newton. Root of 2 Newton. Problem. Two forces each numerically equal to 10 dynes are acting as shown in the following figure, then their resultant is. Now you can see, whenever we want to find out the resultant or add the two forces which are there in vector form, we have to take the angle between their directions. So here what is the direction of this vector 10 dyne? It is acting in this direction. So that means the angle between the two forces is not 60 degrees, it is 120 degrees. So now we can find the resultant. It will be root of f1 square plus f2 square plus 2 f1 f2 cos of 120 degrees. What is cos of 120 degrees? It is minus half. So we can just put here 10 square plus 10 square plus 2 into 10 into 10 into minus half. So now 2 and 2 gets cancelled, this whole thing will get cancelled and you will get it as 10. So the answer for this question is 10 dynes. Next question, two vectors are there such that it has been given of a plus b is equal to mod of a minus b. So what is this value? It is root of a square plus b square plus 2ab cos theta. What about this one? This is equal to a square plus b square minus 2ab cos theta. Now square both the sides. When you square both the sides, you can write this as so we can write finally 4ab cos theta is equal to 0. So that means cos theta will be equal to 0. So what is theta? Theta is equal to pi by 2 or 90 degrees. Let's see this question. This is based on equilibrium of forces. So there are multiple forces which are acting in different directions, and under the action of all these forces, the body on which these forces are acting, that body is in equilibrium. So they have asked us to find out magnitude of f1 vector and f2 vector. So let us try to do that. So I have taught you how to approach this. The first thing is, you can resolve all these forces along I cap and j cap. So let us start with the first force 10 Newton. What is the angle 10 Newton force is making with I cap direction? 10 30 degree. So what will be the component? 10 cos 30. So perpendicular will be 10 sin 30. So we can write one of the forces as 10 cos 30 degrees I cap plus 10 sin 30 degrees j cap. Correct. Now what about f1 vector? It is making an angle of 30 degree with y direction. So on that direction the component will be cos, and perpendicular direction the component will be sin. So we break it down. So we can write it as f1 cos of 30 along j cap plus f1 sin of 30 along I cap. So we are done with these two forces. Third force here 15. So you can see on this the component is 37. So this component will become 15 cos 37 degrees, and perpendicular will be 15 sin 37. So we can write it as 15 cos of 37 degrees along minus I cap plus 15 sin of 37 degrees along plus j cap. So this force is also done. Now last one is f2 vector, and it is already along negative y axis. So we can just write it as plus f2 along minus of j cap. So the sum of all these forces is 0, or to be precise 0 I cap plus 0 j cap. So now I write all I cap term together and j cap term together on the left hand side. So when I do that, 10 cos 30, cos 30 is root 3 by 2, so it will be 5 root 3 I cap. Then next I cap term is here, f1 by 2. Then cos 37. So now if you are not aware, I am writing it here. This is 37 degrees, this is 3, this is 4 and this is 5. So what will be cos of 37 degrees? It will be 4 by 5. So 15 into 4 by 5, 5 3 ja, 4 3 ja, 12. So again minus 12. And this is along I cap. Now we'll write j cap term 5. Then f1 root 3 by 2. Anything else? Yeah, here 15 sine 37. What is sine 37? 3 by 5. So it will be 9 minus f2 j cap. And this should be equal to 0 I cap plus 0 j cap. So if this equation has to be true, then the overall value of this term here, it should be 0, and this should also become 0. Then only this equation will be valid. So we can write f1 by 2 as equal to minus 12 plus 5 root 3 is equal to 0. So we can write f1 by 2 as equal to 12 minus 5 root 3. So what is f1? It is coming as 24 minus 10 root 3. Correct? 24 minus 10 root 3. And what is f2 here? We can find it from the second equation. So f2 will be equal to, you can see it there, 9 plus 5 is how much? 14 plus f1 root 3 by 2. So if you divide f1 root 3 by 2, you will get it as 14 plus 12 minus 5 root 3 into root 3. So this can be written as 14 plus 12 root 3 minus 15. So it is 12 root 3 minus of 1. So remember, whenever you find such kind of question where under the action of different forces the body is in equilibrium, always try to resolve the forces along your preferred directions. Then find out the net force, put it equal to 0. Let's see this one. So the question number 12, the sum of two unit vectors is also a vector of unit magnitude, then the magnitude of difference of two unit vectors. So let us say we are taking two unit vector and their magnitude is equal to 1. And let us say the angle between them, this is A vector, this is B vector, the angle between them is theta. So what is the resultant? The sum of two unit vector is also a vector of unit magnitude. So can we write 1 is equal to root of a square plus b square plus 2ab cos theta. Correct? So from this, again if we square both the sides, 1 is equal to 1 plus 1 plus twice cos theta. So this will get cancelled. Cos theta will be equal to minus half. From here we get cos theta is equal to minus of half. Now they are asking us to find the magnitude of difference. So that is mod of a vector minus b vector. How much this will be equal to? Root of a square plus b square minus 2ab cos theta. So let us substitute the values. 1 plus 1 minus 2. What is cos theta? It is minus half. So put here minus half. So it will become plus 1. So it is equal to root 3. So the answer will become root 3 units. Next problem. Which of the following sets of forces acting simultaneously on a particle keep it in equilibrium? That means the set of three forces will obey triangle law of addition of vectors. So whatever may be the forces you see, if it is in equilibrium, then we can say that, let us say this is F1 vector, this is F2 vector, this is F3 vector, then F1 vector plus F2 vector plus F3 vector should be equal to null vector. Correct? Then only you can say that the body is in equilibrium, because the vector sum of all the forces acting on the body is 0. So now if you can represent these vectors by three sides of a triangle, then the magnitude is going to obey the property of the triangle, right? What is the property? Sum of two of them should always, sum of the two sides of a triangle should always be greater than the third side. Now you check which is satisfying that condition. So if you will see this one, 3 plus 5 if I do, you can see it is less than 10. So obviously this is not correct. Here also 4 plus 5, 9, less than 12. Here 8, it is greater than 5. You take in any order, if you will take it, you will see that the sum of the two sides, because this 2, 6, 5, they are representing the length of sides of this triangle. So the sum of the two sides, any two sides of a triangle must always be greater than the third side. So that is being satisfied in case C only. Any order if you take. Again here you can see it is not satisfying that. Are you able to understand? Because if you take 5 and 1, 6. So 5 plus 1 is less than 8. So again this is also not correct. That is how you solve such kind of problems. Again this is based on equilibrium. So there are three forces which are acting here, and it is given that point P is in equilibrium. Then you have to find T1 by T2. Some of the people try to make use of Lami's theorem here and solve it. If you are having set of three forces and the body is in equilibrium under the action of all those three forces. But for me personally, I always try to break down the forces into chosen axis and then try to solve the question. So my approach is always to, let us say these two forces are oriented in random direction. So what I do is I choose my axis. Anything along this direction is x and this is y. So now I just resolve both these forces in mutually perpendicular direction. So this angle is 60 degree. So on this axis the component will become T2 cos of 60. On this it will be T2 sin of 60. So this is done. What about T1? On this axis 30 degrees. So T1 cos of 30. On this axis T1 sin of 30 degrees. So if this point P is in equilibrium, then the net force in horizontal direction should be 0 and net force in vertical direction, which is Fy, summation of Fy, that should also be equal to 0. So you can see here at point P, T1 cos 30 degrees must be equal to T2 cos 60 degrees, right? So how much is this? T1 cos 30 is root 3 by 2, T2 by 2. So T2 is equal to T1 root 3. So that is one of the equations. For vertical equilibrium, you can write T1 sin of 60 degrees plus T1 sin of 30 degrees, and that is equal to 900. So equate it to 900. So this we can write it as T1 root 3 by 2 plus T1 by 2, and that is 900. Correct? So what is T1 root 3? T1 root 3 is equal to T2. Or you can say that, okay, this is T2, so T2 sin 60 is there. This is T2. So what is, we can substitute any one value which we want. So let us put the value of T2 here. So T2 is T1 times of root 3. So it will become 3t1 by 2 plus t1 by 2, and that is 900. So 4t1 by 2 is 2t1. 2t1 is 900. So what is t1? T1 will be equal to 450 Newton. What about t2 then? t2 is root 3 times of t1. So t2 will become root 3 times of 450. What they have asked us to find out? t1 by t2. So t1 by t2 will be equal to 1 by root 3. This we could have directly got it from first equation itself. But suppose if in any question they ask us to determine exactly the value of t1 and t2, then you can write this another set of equation also and get the corresponding value. Now let us see the next problem. A vector is given b vector. Find the component of b vector along a vector. So first what we do is, let us say you keep this as a vector, this is your b vector. How will you find the component? So if this angle is theta, it will be mod of b cos theta, correct? But here they are asking us to determine only magnitude, not the vector form. If they would have asked vector, then I would have written here additionally, this is in the direction of a cap. But they are not asked direction, so we won't be using this. We will take only the magnitude of b vector. So what is the component of magnitude of b vector along the direction of a vector? So it will be magnitude of b vector cos theta. So what is cos theta? How do you find it out? In order to find cos theta, you have to take the dot product. So we will take the dot product. A dot b should be equal to mod of a mod of b cos theta. So we have to determine here this value, mod of b cos theta. So what is a dot b here? 2 2 ja 4, but it is I and j. Be careful, I dot j is 0. I dot k is also 0, and here 3 2 ja 6. So we'll just get it here 6. And what is mod of a? Root of 4 plus 9. So root of 13 into mod of b cos theta. So what is mod of b cos theta? 6 by root of 13. So the correct answer will be this.